Hey y'all, it's y'all favorite cozy girl, Chi the Reality Queen, and I am back again with another episode of Robe Chronicles. Oh, I recently got a mic. Hopefully, this makes me sound clearer to y'all. Anyway, I've been having a lot of technical difficulties today, but we are going to push through because I am here for y'all. Tonight, we're going to be talking about Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Season 4, Episode 8. And hold on to your seats, guys, because this episode I thought was really good and really showed us that Monica is a star. Okay. The girl is a star. I was iffy about her episode 1, still iffy a little episode 2, but she is really that girl. Anyway, so this episode starts off with Whitney asking Mary to dinner, and she tells Justin, and Justin is very iffy about it. Like, why are you asking this girl to go to dinner who you have always constantly complained about and you don't like her? Which I'm asking as well, because to me, I have felt recently that Whitney is doing whatever she can just to get a story. Like, she is willing to fight with people, make stuff up, and just rekindle random friendships, relationships, just so she can have a story. And girl, we're tired. I mean, y'all might not be tired, but I'm tired. Um, then Justin and her are talking, and he talks about how like he can't make the daughter's birthday party unless she changes the day because he's doing something for work and he really doesn't want to miss it. And honestly, I understand a little bit because it's like he's just getting back into working and this is a new company. So you don't want to miss something, especially when you can just change the date of the birthday, which Whitney agrees to do. Um, Heather then meets with Monica so they can go snowmobile riding, I think. Excuse me. Honestly, Heather is the only girly that be wanting to do the real activities. Like, she is like, we are not going to sit around and drink. I mean, yes, we can do that, but we will ski, we will snowboard, we will do whatever it is that sounds fun that's outside before we get to drinking and sitting and talking. And I kind of like that about her. Like, it's really a good trait. Like, I don't know. I think like everybody else is so ready to sit down and snack on charcuterie boards that that's a nice difference. So then she's talking to Monica just to get her side of the story of everything that happened at Angie's house. And it's like she's telling her about her mom. Well, Monica is telling her about her mom and everything that she's done to her. And Heather can really relate because her and her mom's relationship has been strained ever since she left the church and she divorced her husband. And so she kind of feels for Monica. But what we don't know is Monica's mom is much crazier than we thought. Like, she said that when she was 12, her mom just took her to a friend's house and she called them family and dropped her off in Pennsylvania while the mom went to go live in New York. Mind you, Monica's dad already left when she was 4 years old. And it's kind of sad. And then you're like, now why would you leave? What type of mom? And I get it that sometimes you have to do what you do because it's like best for the family. But to leave your kid with like virtually a stranger, like, yes, it's your friend, but it's not actually family. And to be like, yeah, just live with these people until I can get things together. But it's not like somebody that you've been with because if you had to drop her off at this people's house in Pennsylvania and y'all have been living in Utah, I would imagine that these were not people that you knew and talked to or she saw every single day. So it kind of changes the context of that. Like, whoa, that's pretty intense. Um, but it's nice that Heather actually was the only person that cared to know Monica's side. Like, we saw this blow up and everybody was like, okay, that's the blow up. Like, it's over. Monica was crazy. Angie confronted her. Boom. But it's like, no, like someone should check on her. And I just feel like no one did. And I've noticed that there's a theme in Housewives. Like, when something happens, like when people don't check up on people, that's when people are like, okay, what's going on? I thought we were real friends, but you didn't check up on me after this situation. So that was kind of nice of Heather. And she's really becoming Heather has always been a favorite housewife of mine, but now she's like even more so. Like, everything she's doing is just so like perfect, you know? Um, yeah. So, anyways, John meets with Jack to talk about his mission. And I know this is a storyline for Heather and her family, but I mean, Heather, Lisa and her family, but I'm not a fan of the storyline. I'll just start from there. I'm not a fan of the mission storyline. That's it. But anyway, so John meets with Jack to talk about it. And apparently he did a mission. And like, it's crazy because I guess he admits that he knew 2 weeks before Lisa about him going on that mission. And I kind of feel like, and I could be wrong, but I kind of feel like Jack is doing this mission and has gotten so into his church to almost be different from his mother. Like, I'm not saying he doesn't love his mother because obviously he loves his mother, that's clear. But I feel like maybe he doesn't like how she has proceeded in life. And so he wants to do things based on what he has been taught, which is righteous, which is good, which is, and I think that's what we're seeing. He's trying, because every time his mom comes in and starts trying to talk, because she came in while Jack and John were talking, and she starts trying to tell this story about how she came into her room and her roommate was wearing all her clothes and wanted to feel like her for a day. And it's like, what are you talking about, man? Like, I don't think Jack wants anything to do with his mother's lifestyle and how she's so materialistic. And I think that might be why when Monica said it, it was so triggering because maybe she's hearing it at home from her children, which is funny because your children enjoy the benefits of your materialism, but who knows? But yeah, it just seems like he doesn't want to be like her, or he wants to kind of separate himself from her based on little looks and kind of like that he does. It's like, a normal teenage boy, but also, excuse me, I don't know why I'm burping, but normal teenage boy, but also like, I kind of want to get away from this. Like, I don't want to be associated with this. And this is what I've learned is righteous. So let me do that. That's how I see it. Um, Heather, Meredith, Monica, and Whitney go cross country snow skiing. I was going to say snowboarding. They go cross country skiing. Again, Heather coming up with the ideas that be having these girlies work out. And it's funny because she is the only one that we see constantly wanting to do things that work out. And they always talk about her being bigger, or at least Mary commented on her being a size 14, but it's like she's clearly fairly athletic and likes to do these type of things. So I don't understand. I don't get it. But anyways, that looked like a lot of fun. Something I would never do. Honestly, I'm not a snow person, but whatever. And then so they talk to Monica. All the women kind of talk to Monica because, well, not all, just Heather and Meredith, because, and Whitney. And that's because Heather kind of brings it up. And they're like, hey, you got a new car. And she's like, I didn't get a new car. My mom just took the car that we had because the car is in her name. So she threatened to call the police and report the car stolen if I didn't give her the car. Now, her mama is crazy. That's all I've come to the conclusion. Like every scene, everything I hear more, I'm just like, oh, this lady isn't okay. And at first, you think like sometimes children over exaggerate. I mean, I am a child of someone, and I have been known to over exaggerate a couple of my mother's qualities, yes. But like, yeah, it just doesn't add up. But why are you telling your daughter like, oh, I'm gonna call the police on you and call and report the car stolen if that is a car she pays for? Like, yes, it's in your name. Maybe you had better credit at the time, whatever, but she pays for it. Like, and honestly, I know that there's technically nothing Monica can do because it is in her name, but it just seems so crazy. Like, your daughter has 4 kids and she takes them to school and she drops them off and she does all that, and you're willing to say, no, I'm just going to take it. It's a very weird relationship. Um, then it's funny because all of them all have like strained relationships with their mothers, except for Meredith. And she's kind of sitting there like, "Oh, yeah, like me and my mom, we fight, but that's my girl. Like I call her all the time." And I mean, it's a different dynamic, right? And that's what kind of, and I've had a lot of these conversations with friends and family about how like having a different dynamic with your friends, sometimes you're able to see the difference, right? Like, oh, and don't get me wrong, Heather was great with her mother growing up. It was just when she decided to go her own way that she got shunned. Whitney had a tumultuous relationship with her mother growing up, and so did Monica, obviously. But Meredith, the one person that's like fine, it's like, it's awkward because now they're all kind of talking about it, and you're like, that's not my experience. My mom's great, like very awkward. But then Whitney is like, hey, I'm having a birthday party for my daughter and I want you to come, but I'm also inviting Angie and I want you to like behave, basically. This is what Whitney says to Meredith. And Meredith is like, first of all, Whitney, why are we still talking about this rumor that Meredith did not even talk about or bring up? That's number one. Number two, I have never known Meredith to be the person to not act appropriately in public. Like everybody else has done it, but that has never been Meredith's MO. So for Whitney to even bring that up to her, it's like you're trying to rile her up. That's what you're trying to do because that's not who Meredith is. She doesn't come to the public and start getting to yapping at people. Like she might address people who have addressed her, but she don't really do that. So it's like, I don't know. She's the wrong person to warn. But what Meredith does in response is kind of weird. And maybe she had been waiting to bring this up, but it's kind of like, why are you telling her, like, hey, I never heard from you when I crashed that day after, I was going to say Angie's party, but after Lisa's event. And it's like, okay, this might be an issue and it might need to be brought up, but it didn't need to be brought up in this very moment. In this very moment where she just asked you to behave, I would have said, girl, of course I'm going to behave. But why, I also wanted to bring up that that's not how she responded to it. She kind of was like, in that moment where my life flashed before my eyes, which honestly, I believe it. It's dramatic. I have had a little heart racing moment when somebody hits the brakes in front of me a little too fast and I got to hit my brakes a little too fast. Like, I get it. Sometimes you're like, oh shit, like I really dodged a bullet, right? So I get that narrative, but I just don't think it was the right time to bring it up. I think you should have finished the Angie conversation, close it out, been like, girl, you think you crazy because I would never do that. So why would you even say that to me? But either way, I would have closed that out and then brought up the fact that she didn't call. Because then it looks like what people have been saying, a little bit of deflection. Yeah, but then she's like, it took you 48 hours to reach out and you drove right by me. And it's like, if I saw my friend's car, maybe they didn't know it was her car. And that's what Whitney said. She said she didn't know it was that car, whatever. Everything was settled. I just don't care for Whitney anymore. So now whenever she talks, I'm just generally irritated. Angie's dad comes over to cook with Angie. Very cute. He brought lemons. Am I missing something? Does anybody know what it is in Greek culture? Why people bring lemons? I mean, I know they have like lemon chicken and lemon this and lemon that and whatever. But is there something because Heather bought lemons on the Easter event and then the dad brought lemons that he just came over? Like, is there something with lemons and Greek people that I just don't know? And if you know, let me know in the comments because I've never heard. I could Google it, but I won't. um, yeah, she's telling her dad about her and Sean and that they haven't been on a date in over a year and a half, and she doesn't know how he did it with her mom because there's 7 of them. And honestly, that's a lot. That's a lot. It's a little bit of a lot. Like 7, yeah, when would you go out? But I guess the dad was like, you just make time or whatever. But yeah, I mean, I really think that's a choice. And I think that Sean may be having an affair. Or maybe she is, right? Because we're putting it all on Sean. What if she's having an affair? Maybe she's the reason why they're not going out or doing stuff together. Maybe she's having a little bit of, whatever. I don't know. I This is not me making an allegation, okay? Just to clear that up, I am not making an allegation or a rumor or anything. I'm just saying that maybe there's a disconnect in their relationship and they're putting it on the daughter because that's the easiest thing to blame. Oh, we have this daughter, Electra, and we're all so worried about her and she sleeps in our bed and this and that. But like your dad clearly comes over all the time. Like, can't he watch your kid for an hour or 2 hours or whatever? You went to Palm Springs on a whim with your girl to intrude on someone else's trip, but you couldn't take your man on a date. It's very intentional. You don't want to hang out with that man solo. Maybe you're afraid of what you're going to find out. Not in terms of cheating, but like find out that y'all don't really like each other anymore, because that's a fear, right? Like if you actually have to sit down and talk with him and be around him solo, you might find out that you guys aren't really as compatible anymore. Like that's a scary thing. So I'm not blaming her, but that could be the case. Then Sean comes home and he says hi and immediately runs up to shower. Won't eat, won't kiss her, whatever. And that's not helping his cheating allegations. Because you know what people who cheat do? They go shower first because they want to be clean. They want to get the stench of the other person off them. I'm just saying it's not helping. But he works in a hair salon. I doubt he really cuts hair anymore. I mean, I don't know, but it's like you have how many salons, how many schools. I mean, maybe he just does exclusive clients, but it's like he probably not cutting no hair. He don't have no hair on him. I mean, I am a person that also likes to shower once I get home, but it doesn't have to be immediate. I can eat. But once I've been outside, I gotta come in and shower. And if you don't, you're dirty. Okay? You hear that? You're dirty. If you go outside and do outside things and come inside and get into your bed, you're dirty. Okay? I'm gonna just say that. So I do commend Sean for not being dirty. But it's like, how clean you trying to be? What are you trying to be clean from? Right? Those are the questions that need answers. Then Whitney and Mary go to dinner. And obviously it's a mess because it's Whitney and Mary. Like, duh. That was going to be a mess from the moment she called her. So they get to dinner and the waiter spilled food on Mary when she came to drop it. And honestly, she's like, oh my God, why did she spill on me? She should have spilled on Whitney. And it's like, bad things happen to bad people, babe. Okay, I'm simplifying it and being mean, but maybe it was a little bit of karma because she was planning to be mean to Whitney. Not that I care too much because I don't really care for Whitney, but still. It's crazy because they start talking and Whitney goes and apologizes because, Mary's like, you've called me a predator, you've attacked my family. Rightfully so, right? You can't just go attacking people's families because when everybody else does it, everybody expects this great big apology. Y'all do it to Mary and you want Mary to get over it because she's Mary. No, it's not fair. She don't have to get over it. But Whitney comes and apologizes and then says, but you have to be accountable as well. Ma'am, did you call me to apologize or what? Because I don't agree. If you called me saying we need to talk, I want to apologize, I want to bury the hatchet, if I want to apologize, then okay. But you cannot force me to apologize because you picked up the phone and called me. Now, if I accept your apology and I like it, and I'm like, you know what? Yes, let's move forward. I'm sorry for the things I said to you. Great. But I shouldn't have to. It shouldn't be mandatory that I do that. I mean, you're the one who wanted to talk. So you obviously felt that you are the problem here, right? So I didn't really like how she was coming at Mary like, oh, you're not going to apologize. You're not going to take accountability for anything. If that's how you wanted to go about this, then you shouldn't have called me, right? You should only call me If you're ready to apologize, and that's it. That's how I feel. That's me. I'm on Mary's side. I'm not saying what Mary did or how she responded, because Mary just was like, I'm leaving, I'm getting up and leaving. I'm not saying that's right, but I am saying that if you want to apologize, apologize. Your apology shouldn't be dependent on me. Your apology shouldn't be dependent on my reaction. I don't have to accept it. I don't have to, right? You're assuming because I accepted your invitation that I am going to accept your apology or whatever it is that you say when you get here. But I don't think that's fair or necessary. I think that it's definitely something that's like, just do your part, and however I respond is how I respond, and that's how that's dealt with, right? That's just how I look at it. But anyways, Mary gets up, she leaves, and that's it. Um, Lisa then throws a party for Jack because he's a party to find out where he's going on his mission. Again, I don't like this topic, I don't like this storyline, but he's going to Colombia, and um, Lisa makes a pretty weird comment about Jack probably being held at gunpoint because he's going to be in Colombia. And I'm like, I don't like that. It smells a little racist. Just a little bit, because why would he be held at gunpoint? Do you know people go to Colombia all the time and they're not held at gunpoint? Why would you say that? Lisa, why would you say that? And I don't think people are holding her accountable enough in the comments of, Twitter and Instagram, because that was a weird comment to me. Very weird. Anyways, Monica finally goes to sit with her mom to talk with her about everything that has been going on. I think hopefully to come to like a resolution of sorts. Um, and as soon as she sits down, her mama is already crying. Oh, ma'am. Oh, this is drama. This is drama. You came with drama. Like, I don't know if you came to resolve nothing or if you just came to be drama filled. Because why are you crying already? And then she's looking for an Advil because I guess the tears made her head hurt. And she is just like, tears, tears, tears. Ugh. But then she kind of perks up to basically start rolling her neck and telling Monica what she wasn't and who she wasn't and how she was and this and that and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, she wants a snowflake. Like, her daughter got one and she thinks she's gonna get one right behind her. Okay. She probably studied some other moms from reality TV shows. Like, okay, how do I have to be? Because, ma'am, why are you talking like this to your child? I know she's not a child anymore. She's 30 something, but she is always your child, right? She's not a child to the world, but she is still your child. And it's crazy because you can see Monica is not even fazed by it really, because this is who her mom is. They are going back and forth in this restaurant. The other patrons are just looking at them like, what's going on? Because obviously they're getting loud. I mean, they're probably looking at them as well because there's a camera there. But it's like, it's pretty crazy to argue like that with your own mama. But it's just crazy because we find out that Monica's grandmother hated her mom. I guess she didn't want any girls or something. I don't know exactly the story, but like, and she treated Monica's mom bad. And so it kind of makes more sense why Monica's mom treats Monica the way she does. You were hated, so you hate your child. It's just natural. Like, you came and ruined my life, I came and ruined my mom's life. It's just like a natural progression of things, unfortunately. And I think it's crazy, but it just seems like that's what it is. And I'm like, what a toxic situation to be in for Monica and even LD, right? Like, how toxic was that for you to be raised in a home where your mother also hated you? I mean, now she's old and senile, as we saw, so maybe she don't be remembering all the hate she gave her daughter, but it's like, yikes, right? Um, It's actually insane because when they're going back and forth and talking, Monica was like, you used to put me in the trunk so you could make out with boys. And instead of her mom denying it like she has denied everything else, her mom was like, that was only one time. Ma'am, what? You put your daughter in the trunk of the car so you can make out with the man? Oh no, this trauma is deep and crazy. Like, and the fact that she said it only happened one time lets me know immediately that it was more than one time. I know that. I know that for sure because that lady has denied a lot of things, but the fact that she accepted this and then said that it was only one time, oh, I know. It was more than one time. It was more than one time. It was probably a few times. And that is just so crazy to me. Like that relationship is just, I don't know. And then her mom was like, you need to just get over it, Monica. Trauma, you don't just get over trauma like that. You don't just get over that. That's crazy. And then she is kind of like, it just happened. You need to forgive me. Am I forgiven? And Monica's like, not today. And especially after you just told me that you don't care. It's not a big deal to you. And I'm just like, I seriously watched that whole segment with my mouth open because, like, this is your mom, and that's how she's talking to you, and that's the relationship y'all have. And I don't know that, but that is so crazy. And I know that there's other people that know that. And so if you're watching that and that's your relationship that you have with your mom or have had with your mom, I'm so sorry. That's so sad. And that's pretty much where the episode ended with that conversation. But it was just really eye opening to know that there are people living life and they have to come from that circumstance, right? They have to build a life for themselves from that circumstance. So her mom had to do it, and then she had to do it, and I'm sure her grandma had to do it. So it's kind of like this trauma is generational and insane. But you know what? I'm not saying the drama. You guys know how I feel about it. But Monica is a star, honey. She is a star. If she was not on this season would be boring. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna go out and say it. We on episode 8. Without Monica, this season is a dud. Angie K is not giving what she wants to believe she's giving, and I don't think they need to bring her back. Sorry. I think well, maybe she'll redeem herself. Who knows? Maybe she will. But so far, not good. I um Meredith is giving what she's always given. Heather, love, love, love. Whitney needs to change her entire personality. Lisa, she is a housewife. That's what I'm gonna say. Like she she is a housewife. I don't know if she's giving as much as she should be giving this season, but she is a housewife. That's what I will say about her. That's what I think when I see her. So um, yeah. So tell me what you guys are thinking about. We're getting ready to start the Real Housewives of Potomac this Sunday. I'm super excited. We're all heading to BravoCon. I hope to see some of you guys there. I will be there. Um, this is going to be so exciting. I hope to see all of the housewives, Miami, New York, OC. I'm super excited. I hope you guys are excited for BravoCon. If you have any comments for me, please like, comment, please subscribe, please like these videos, tell your friends about these videos, and I will see you guys at BravoCon. Bye.